Path to Serenity is a game about an experience. It's an experience of a family man called Jim, but it really could be anybody out there who is going through a difficult time, feeling burned out in his job. Now, for anybody out there, including myself, who's maybe had a job that felt they weren't appreciated, and you probably know what I'm talking about. So, it's this kind of story where Jim feels that every day he puts more and more work in, but he gets less and less out, and he feels so unappreciated to the point where the colors and beautifulness in his life kind of starts to decrease as he spends more work and more time in work rather than actually with his family. So this is what the story is about. Now, for me to try to portray that into the game, I've tried my best to implement things such as tasks, and this is important because as you start the game, it really represents that sort of menial but repetitive tasks that a lot of us have to do when we're stuck in this sort of repetitiveness. You have to do dishes, you have to clean up, you have to do all this stuff, and you have to have constant reminders of the work that you've done previously, the day before that. So this is kind of in the beginning when you're in the house. I'm also then you move into the office where you have again meetings and chats with your staff, and then you have to have difficult conversations. For anybody who's been in a manager position, or perhaps has been in a position where you have to have those chats, you know how difficult those are. So this is what kind of Jim has to go through on a day-to-day basis, and that kind of grinds him down, and to the point where his office has kind of turned kind of gray for him. It just feels like there's no colors left, and there's different NPCs in the office, and these kind of represent different type of people that you may encounter into an office. People who are big-headed, so those who just want to prove how good they are, work really hard and outdo themselves at the risk of losing anything, and those who have small heads just want to kind of hide behind and just kind of focus on what they like to do. And and then obviously you have your boss, who's represented by a character who doesn't really care about anything, offers pizza parties as a reward, as if that's something that's really important to people. And and then there's obviously people who've escaped, who've given up their resignations, and you can find those lying about, or people who've just basically had enough and just didn't want to be there anymore. And then you have the contrast of the forest, where as he escaped from a difficult chat, where you start having Jim starts kind of having a panic attack about his situation. He escapes into the forest, which is kind of where his aunt, through letters here and there, was kind of advising him to go and kind of just re-experience what he probably is missing, to refocus himself. So he goes in his panic, drives, and he takes this long drive, as he says, and he drives to the forest, where he basically experiences kind of a calmness. And the night scene of the forest is meant to be this place where you are kind of re-experiencing a little bit of the colors lost, and they're kind of starting to come in. And there's this area around the forest, the beginning of the forest, where the road starts, where the trees are kind of dead. Again, that's kind of to signify things that have that where you're coming from is not really kind of worth being there, symbolism. And then obviously you have the day scene of the forest, where colors are vibrant, and Jim experiences different sort of memories from the past, where in different areas, as he explores, these are no longer tasks but easier to explore areas, which kind of bring in back memories for him of things he experienced, and the happiness of just being there for his family, and happiness of experiencing things with his family which he's been missing out on. Overall, Path to Serenity as a package is just a game about rediscovering oneself, And again, it's for those people who perhaps are going through a difficult time and feeling lost, and so just to kind of take a moment, take a breather, and realize there are things that you love to do, and it's important to embrace those, even if that means, you know, I don't know, being at risk of losing other things that you know, you need to change, such as maybe a new career or finding a new job or something like that. So the game is all about rediscovering what you enjoy in life, and in Jim's case, that's being with his family. In my case, was being there for my family, and also spending more time with my son, and also having the amazing opportunity to start my own studio and start a new career. So this is kind of Path to Serenity in a nutshell. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give my game a wish list on Steam. We're currently at 210, so if we could give up a bump for a couple of hundreds, really help me out a lot, so really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye bye.